What's going on, beautiful people of the world? Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So-So production. We're doing it Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. No big deal. March's almost over. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's safe and sound. Sip, sip to the gang wherever you are. If you're in Toronto, if you're in Ontario, Canada, the US, Mexico, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, never been, wanna go, come with. Let's do it. Hope everybody's doing well for the most part, gang. We're all just, times are changing, man. Times are changing, ladies. That's what they've always said. That's, you know, it's a constant. The only constant is that change. Times are changing, they say. I wanna be, but I wanna, you say it more as you gain a little bit more experience doing life. Times are always changing. I want to be able to say that later on in life and really people with the, folks will, you might see somebody with a few strands of that salt and pepper that'll say a line like that and it really resonates. Times are changing, man. Times are changing. Everything's changing. Everything's moving on the lines more so than ever, man. I just, again, going back, touching, I guess, on a little teeny tiny story that's been going on. It's been unraveling in my life. And if you're just joining us today, talk about everything and nothing. If you've been with me for a long time, thank you very much. It's not been that long, though. That's when it's good, it doesn't feel like that long, right? When something's good, you get into a relationship, a week goes by, like, oh, how many years have we been doing this? It's, that's not the case here, because that's not how I feel about you guys and gals out there. It's beautiful. Taking our time, building, because we know times are changing. But just purchased a vehicle on the lines. Everything went online. So that's the thing. If you've been with me, if for anybody that's not in the loop, I was in the midst of purchasing a car. Some things went down, bought a new car, little technical difficulty on the manufacturer's part, if you will, had to cancel the order. But that's the thing, everybody's got my, I stuck with my guy. He put in the time and effort. Same with the finance advisor, really nice. So I just stuck with, but that's the thing, I put in an order for a new car and we did it all online. Didn't even have to go down to a dealership these days. You could actually buy anything online these days. You could buy a house if you wanted to online, which is, times are changing, man. You can buy damn near anything. You can, go on the regular white market. You got a gray market. You got a black market. I've never dabbled in the, do they call the other regular market white market? Because if the other one, like the underground one's black, and then is there a gray market? What, where is that? But white market or the regular market, I didn't come up with the color coding. All right, I'm just sometimes following the rules, sometimes making up the rules, baby. But that's life. Times are changing. It was a little bit scary to make a purchase, and I used to say this to people that came and paid me a visit back when I was selling cars. Cars, second biggest purchase, right before houses. So it's a big investment on most people. That you put yourself out there, but then, man, times are changing in a sense that we've gotten really comfortable with sharing information over the phone and on the emails and on the lines, man. And I been sharing quite a bit with everybody out here who's been with me. Again, thank you very much. But if you're new, boy goes in, man goes in deep sometimes. Sometimes we're just scratching the surface. Most often we're scratching the surface. We try to go deep as much as we can, but then you get to a lower level and you're like, man, it's pretty deep down here. And then you find out there's so many other levels. Below, above, the many steps. But times are changing and I did it, man, and it felt good. In terms of convenience factor, if I don't have to get out of my house to purchase something, fantastic, let's do it. Because I was never, growing up even, I was never a mall guy or a let's go shopping, hang out at a You know, I like nature. I like doing things. I like going out for walks. I don't like to, I've had a job. I've had several jobs when I was younger that wasn't a mall, but that's the only time I've been in a mall. I've never, I've, you know, stepped through a mall to get to a gym. Way back in the day, shout out to Good Life Hillcrest, what's up? I don't know if it's still up and running, probably is. This gym, man, this was my first gym. Good Life Fitness. Right down in the basement, too. Right down in the basement. And they didn't have good ventilation. Let's just, maybe they've done something to that, but I don't know. That whole, anybody who's familiar with the area, that whole mall has just been in renovation. It keeps getting better and better, but I don't know what they've done to the back area. For anybody who's familiar with the area, for those of you who aren't, well, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Big mall, relatively, it's not that big. Medium-sized mall. Good Life Fitness, right at the back. Park your car, walk, head on downstairs into the basement. No ventilation, but there was a huge industrial-sized fan, and they've, at the time, thought about this and placed it right next to the water fountain. So that beautiful. It makes perfect sense, right? Because you're sweating, you're working out, you're dripping, and then you go for a sip. Next thing you know, come out with the sniffles. How does that work? I don't know. But it's good because you don't want the gym to be packed. So, give a couple of people the sniffles. Those are days off. Paid for a full month membership. But you're getting some days off. Take a couple of days off. You don't need to be there every day. Unless you want to be there every day, which is great. Do it every. Some people may have done it twice in a day. Some folks may have been, into it really deep. Just going there. Twice a day. What are you doing? I'm back. A lifting. Working on this mountain of muscles. Clams here, muscles there. It's a work of art, some say, when they're in there building that. Because it's kind of like you're sculpting. You're sculpting your physique on the exterior, and then in the interior, you just concentrate on. Anyway, man, I don't even know how we got here. We were talking about how things are changing, but that's exactly it. I was really considering, I'm like, should I take another trip down to the dealership? I already know my guy. I know what I want. What's the point if we can just exchange a couple of docs, feel me? A couple of PDFs, just slide them in. I confirm I've received it. You got my info. Why do I need to be there? Beautiful. Fantastic. But there was a little bit of just that, that hesitation. Oh man, I mean, it's a legitimate dealership, but I'm still, do I just give a, Visa number or card number out over the phone and they take a deposit? All right, cool. I guess this is how we're doing it now. I remember we were beginning when this is maybe, I forget how many years it's been, maybe 5, 6 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. We were maybe starting to do that, where if somebody didn't want to come in and they were willing to do a transaction over the phone, you take their info, you write up the contract, take a deposit over the phone. It's a thing. They've done it. I don't remember doing it personally, to be honest, but I think more and more so because of the whole pandy. And obviously that was already on that trajectory where everything's kind of moving on the lines, which is nice. Some things are moving on the lines. Certain things you still need to be out there in the physical realm, baby, doing it physically, putting in the work. But I'm happy about it. Everything went, finally it's done. And so I put in an order, it's done. The car will be here in about 4 to 6 weeks. I'm done. I can't, it was like, but that's a good problem. That's a beautiful problem to have if you're out there, like, that's what I tell myself. So that little hurdle is now passed. Now we just gotta sit back and wait till it arrives. So that's made me feel good, not gonna lie. It's just one of those little things, every day or every week you might, I don't know if you guys or ladies do this, but you have a few items that you got to take care of and you might write it down. It's just nice to put a little tick or a little check mark beside an item that you've taken care of. It feels nice. It feels like you're somehow, little by little, accomplishing things. I don't know. Make a list or don't. Do you, boo-boo. Hope everybody's doing well. What else is going on, man? Lots of exciting things. We are rocking and rolling. The city is opening up. City is opening up. Masks are off. But it is, I'll tell you this, I'm excited, but it is a slower pace. It's not gonna be, I feel like a lot of businesses, a lot of people are gonna be, myself included, just taking those steps, but slowly. Because I know myself, I can't, I'm Mr. Turtle, dude. Got the neck for it, got the collar for it, Just go one step forward, two steps back, baby, progress. That's what I'm talking about. But what's in the, what's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about? Ladies, there's been, it's interesting because I like to be able to sit back sometimes and just take in what's going on, just to be able to, and I'm finding that it gets better with practice. It gets better at practice, and this guy right here is nowhere near perfect. Always working on it, striving, stretching, but just like everything else, you just gotta give it some time and just let things unfold for a little bit. See where it takes us. And all in all, looking at everything, I think we're going in a good direction, baby. We're going in that, we're not going on a, it's not linear, but it's on the upward. It's on the up and up. The trajectory is on the up and up. That's a positive, and we're gonna keep. They told me to zig, but I always like to zag. That's my mentality. But also, what am I trying to get to, man? It's I'm trying to talk about. Let's get into it. Let's try to scratch the surface, see if we find anything on the bottom floor. Talking about boats, man. Ladies, talking about boats and kayaks. Boats with motors on them. Motorized boats. Speedboats. Because the conversation's up there. It's in the zeitgeist, it's in the ether, it is circulating back and forth, which is nice, which is really good. That's what we want. That's what you and I want. I'm a fan of conversations. I'm a fan of dialogue. I'm a fan of fans. I'm a fan of AC. I'm a fan of room temp. You all know me, dude. Flexible, malleable, up for anything. Not too hot, not too cold. Goldilocks zone is what I'm trying to say. Always dead in the center, and if not dead in the center, somewhere close within proximity is what we try to aim for here. But talking about boats, man, everybody loves boats. I love boats. We've always supported boats on this show. Boats, kayaks, all sorts of floating devices. That's a big part of life. You gotta be able to float. Times are rough out there. You gotta be able to swim. You gotta be able to float, man. And that's what it is. But right now you'll hear a lot of, and I'm interested in this topic just because I think it's interesting times to be living in. How could you not be interested? These are really important. We're making progress and we're making leaps and bounds, baby. We're stepping into new territories. I don't know how you can't be excited. I don't know how, all of this, I see all of it as a positive. That's what I see. Talking about boats, of course. I'm happy to see this. This is wonderful. We need more discussions concerning boats because there have been some competitions happening on different world stages concerning boats and the boat life, and you have different categories. You'd have kayaks versus kayaks, you have, again, paddle boats versus paddle boats. You'll have motor boats, people out there motorboating just going down motorboating. Some people are out there speedboating. Some people are out there yachting. Some people are out there, it's just a family-sized boat, maybe 5 to 6, 5 to 8, 5 to 10's reasonable numbers for, some families, some friends, and they get together and they also have little events. But for the most part, it's been, up until now, just for the sake of keeping things a little bit even, a little bit fair in the boating game. We always had, kayaks versus kayaks, because it wouldn't be fair to have like Lamborghini speedboat racing off against even the highest of qualities in kayaks is not going to be able to compete with that Lamborghini supercharged speedboat, is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes it's good to have categories. I think it's good to have, because then it's so that we avoid creating an uneven or unfair advantage for some who are built different. Some boats are built different. You can't, if the Lamborghini superboat beats the kayak every time, it's gonna be a problem into like, who's the best kayak? It's the super Lamborghini boat, that's the best kayak. But that's not a kayak, you'll say, and I agree, it's not. Does it mean that it can't compete? No, of course it can, just with other speedboats and supercharged Lamborghini boats, right? And it's tricky, man. It's tricky because sometimes you'll have speedboats who get a little bit older and they don't any longer feel like they're speedboats. They feel like maybe they're a kayak. They feel more like a kayak or a paddle boat, or one of those beautiful like swan boats that are shaped like swans, and you sit there and like you also paddle boat. I know my boats, dude. Don't come in here trying to test me on my boat skills, son. North, south, east, west. I know all of it. A little bit of it. But if you're lost at sea and you're just trying to pick up which way is the wind blowing, stick your index finger in your mouth all the way in and then pull it out and try to feel a breeze against your skin, and maybe that'll give you an indication. Or wait till nighttime, try to locate the North Star. Again, I don't want to be just like, oh, too much information, I can't remember all that. I know. We'll take it, we'll unpack this and try to get to the bottom of it. So what I'm trying to say is that, sometimes you'll end up with a supercharged boat who's at a certain age, and he's always been a supercharged speedboat, and now all of a sudden getting a little bit of mileage, coming in, first the boat used to just swim within the small pool of other familiar boats, and he wasn't the best, he wasn't the worst, but then the boat took a dip in a bigger body of water, and oh my, there's so many other great super boats. I can't be the best super boat. And I am getting a little bit, but I still want to compete, is what the boat's saying, the superboat, the charged speedboat is saying to itself. And I was like, maybe I could compete with a kayak or a paddle boat or a canoe, maybe, maybe that's a thing. And this is, the question's never even been brought up. Can a supercharged Lamborghini superboat float with the regular old canoe? Up until now, no, because of clearly it was unfair. But now it's good that we're having these conversations, because now you come in there and you put in the supercharged Lamborghini boat in the kayak race, and all of a sudden the old, not so old, but like old enough, right, to be able to make that decision for themselves. Now it's coming in and just like, oh, I'm gonna take all the medals in boating and in kayaking and canoeing. And you'll see it on all the other canoes' faces, just kind of bummed out and kind of like deep down inside like, man, I got second place in this canoeing competition. Is it just me? Or is that a boat? Is that a super boat? Do I see an extra propeller? or some just, is it just me and the second place boat the canoe will look at the other, third, fourth place canoe, and they're all like, yeah, man, yeah, lady, this looks like. I mean, of course, we like everybody to compete, and we love all boats. All boats matter, is what we've said here from the get-go. And it's time we figure it out little by little. We're getting there, right? But it leads to other questions. How long does a super boat have to be the Lamborghini jet boat? What do they call them? Speedboats? I'm gonna go just with regular speed boats. Oh, accelerate. How long do they have to get their engines reconditioned so that it's on the up and up and on the level with all the other canoes or kayaks? How long is that? Could you take a regular old speedboat and just, get rid of the stickers, the nice stickers, because they come with shiny stickers, right? You take a couple of stickers. Is that a good enough transformation so that we no longer call the speedboat a speedboat, and we can now we've removed the stickers, so visually it might even look a little bit less like a speedboat. It might just look like a faster boat. And we place it within the lanes that are the canoe lanes, the kayak lanes. But it's still really fast, really, really fast, most often. That'll be, so for how long do you spend a year working on the speedboat? Do you spend 2 years working on a speedboat and trying to take away a little bit of that power? That, yeah. Is it, some people say that's not even good enough. Some people say it should be maybe 5 to 10 years that you should be working on a particular speedboat so that you could actually make the right adjustments so that it's no longer considered a speedboat. But I'm not a boat expert, of course. I don't know. And the technology is changing. Luckily, that's the beauty of it all. Before, man, you couldn't even imagine. Like, there were boats back in the day who could not even fathom the idea of, oh man, could I ever transform into a speedboat? Can I go back to a regular? Could I even do? Could I just be? A surfing board, questions, and it's great questions that we should ask ourselves. But I think one issue that we are going to multiple issues that we're going to run into, I think you could definitely, first of all, I want everybody to compete. I want all sorts of boats, because we love all boats. All boats matter. I want all the boats to be able to compete. But I just think we should, and again, this is not a new idea. This is probably not, anything. But then again, no one's taught, the media might not. Well, no, they are. That's getting coverage. It's getting, and the boats are getting, sure, there's a lot of other stuff going on too, but boats are getting attention too, and they should. Everybody should. And you run into certain questions, because let's say a fully developed boat, a boat who's been in water for a certain period of time, if they have that life experience as a boat up until a certain age, they should be able to call their own shots and definitely be in charge of their own boat. And if they choose to, they should be able to transform into a bigger boat or a smaller boat. It doesn't even matter what kind of, whatever you want to, that's your boat. I'm all for free boats, dude. Free boats. So I think the issue is going to be mostly the multiple issues that I'm trying to figure out. And so I don't think, here's the thing, I think we're gonna be able to have boats who change, but adult boats, because it's also like at what age? Because like it's some say when it comes to boats, biology rules. Mechanically speaking, mechanics rule and dictate what you can and can't do in terms of boats. So, because it'd be wrong for, let's say, a boat who's 12 to be getting upgrades or downgrades, which are of course all upgrades in the grand scheme of there. None of them are, you're not downgrading, you're upgrading the boat. And yeah, because some say that an average boat, on average, you know, boats can't, you know, certain things we've kept limited, and we've kept it like boats can't go drinking until they're 18 at least in most places. Boats can't even drive sometimes till they're, you know, they got their full license roughly around the age of 18. Boats who drive. Boats can't, you know, boat has to wait until a certain age until the boat gets a boat or goes off and is able to purchase a weapon or be a part of the army or the Navy. The Navy makes sense, of course, this scenario, because we feel as a society that we need our boats to be in the water for some time to just grasp things. And boats, you know, you go your life living as a boat all day, and you encounter new things every day, and you're learning and you're boating. And it's rough seas out there, and times are changing. Times are changing, right? But it's a good thing. But change is always a little bit uncomfortable. Let's be uber comfortable with change, everybody, is what I'm telling myself. And be open-minded and open-hearted. Open-hearted and open-minded. And we all are, for the most part. Everybody loves everybody. But I think there's going to be an issue. See, because there's issues that are colliding with other issues. See, because if you can't just declare yourself if you're a superboat, you can't at the age of 12 be like, yeah, I'm a kayak, because you should still be competing with all the other superboats. I think these are all just my opinions concerning boats, of course. You know? It's, man, tricky topics. See what I mean? It's, because there's the other side who says, no, boats should be their younger boats who should be able to practice boating. I say let boats be boats for at least a good portion of their life, if that's possible. You know, let boats just... What happened to boats just chilling around the harbor? Just anchoring down. Just being regular boats. You don't even need to, you know, that's the thing. You have your whole life to go boating. You have your whole life, and we're living till like 150 these days. You've got so many years to go boating. Oh, man. And everybody should boat the way they like, and however they see fit, and however they are comfortable boating. Your style, you do you, boo-boo. Okay? And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. But at the same rate, because like, I don't even have a boat yet. But one day I might. Things might change. Things will change, damn it. Things will change, all right? I think I will end up with a boat one day. It's a good possibility. Might not even be my own boat, dude. I might just end up getting a second-hand boat. There's nothing wrong with second-hand boats. Some of them turn out to be way better performing than regular boats, because, man, you know, they say rough seas and starts make the boat break barriers that were thought of as unbreakable barriers prior to that younger boat who's had a, if you just knew what that boat's been through. But look at him now, or look at her now. You know, perfectly. No one's perfect, but of course it's a beautiful boat. We're so proud, is what you'll say. And it'll just be the, it's not, to each their own. Some people say it's got to be my own boat. I got to go build my own boat. Some people are okay with, and that's, I advocate all of it, So, man, so that's the thing. So this is tricky, and we're getting to it. But we need to have these conversations, because if we don't, then there's gonna be, even if the super boat, doesn't come in first place every time, it's still taking the place of other kayaks and canoes or swans. So this is what I say. We need to figure out, what age are they allowed to be mechanically altered, these boats, and for how long? Because I don't think just like, a year worth of work probably is not sufficient enough so you need some hardcore mechanical suppression. And I'm not a mechanic by any stretch of the imagination, I'm not a boat expert. I'm just a concerned not even a boat enthusiast, dude. I just but it is interesting, you know what I mean? I'm interested in boats in general. Boats are interesting to observe, and I think some say we are the most interesting boats out there. Who knows? It's all sorts of boats. If you pay enough attention, you'll notice there are even intelligent boats right in the bottom of the ocean. So, I think we're gonna have an issue with, basically, I think it's gonna kind of, this is an issue, right? I don't think you can have, technically speaking, any youth boats or any boat who's still going through schooling. I think if you're in the, I think if you're in school, you're still gonna be too young to be on any, I think any right doctor would be like, man, or mechanic would be like, man, let this boat grow physically, mentally, until at least a certain age. And of course you're gonna have, and these are like, and the beauty of it is, this is a very small portion of our boats, but it's still our boats are fucking boats, bro. Our boats are our boats, that's what it is. That's the difference between here and other places where, man, you speak about boats, all of a sudden we're like, whoa, what's this guy talking about? What's this lady talking about? Off with their heads. But it's different here, so luckily we can, without anybody getting offended, without anybody losing their, we can have open conversations. Without anybody getting censored, without anybody getting, oh, this guy doesn't like boats, or that guy doesn't like, or this lady doesn't like, this lady loves boats, this guy loves boats, is what most of us are all about, As long as, to each their own, that's what I say, man. Leave my boat be. Don't try to teach my boat certain activities concerning older boats. Let them discover it on their own if they should. And that's fine. But yeah, so if you're in school, I don't know how we can have boats just going into different categories of boats. I think there's a little bit of what's that thing that mechanics, the oath of mechanics, do no harm, right? Or is that right? Something along those lines, right? And you know, you want to be careful with younger boats. Younger boats, even older boats, but boats in general, very complex, right? So I think that in itself is a conversation that we're going to have down the line at the highest of levels of boat competitions. Because in all other realms, it's nobody really cares because it's not really concerning anybody else. But there is a level of safety, keeping all boats safe, keeping a even playing ground for all the boats. But that's just again my opinion. Maybe we want to fuck it up and be like, hey man, to all y'all other boats, maybe you want to, you know, start putting on a couple of extra engines yourself. You know, someone's suppressing some horsepower, you maybe should start injecting some horsepower. If that, you know, all of a sudden, next thing you know, the boats are coming extra jacked. What happened to this boat's got a spoiler? It didn't have a spoiler before. It's got a spoiler now. It's got 2 spoilers. Just spoiling it. So, but see how I mentioned before how different issues kind of collide with each other? Excuse me a second. Gotta do everything myself here. Building a team is great. Issues collide with other issues, right? So if you cannot technically alter your engine until a certain age, so that eliminates youth boat competitions, and they would have to stick to their regular categories, is what I think. And then you'd have adult boats, matured boats, and we can all figure it out together. I don't got the answers. I don't even know boats, dude. I don't know boats from, you know. So, man. Boats are, it's a sensitive topic, man. People love boats. We should, right? We should. Boats love boats is what I meant to say. We as a boat species love boats. So once the adult boat, the matured boat gets to a certain age, let's say we decide it's to get, I don't know what we're gonna decide. Is it 18? Is it 25? Whatever the range is. So if they decide to, you know, change to a different type of flotation device, how long should they again go and be under mechanical or technical suppressants so that they can, you know, or is that ever going to be fair? Should we come up with a whole new category and you're like, man, there's not enough altered boats? Well, create the category, and however few altered boats, legitimate altered boats are, they can compete together. And of course, life's not fair for everybody, life's not perfect, but you can't just completely dismantle a whole boating system that we've created with good reasons. Because here's the thing with progress in boating, right? We're making advancements like left, right, and center. Technology is getting better. You know, maybe in a few years we'll have something that'll you just put it on the boat and boom, oh, where'd my boat go? It's a kayak now. Maybe that'll be the case. Probably will be. That's just, we're on the up and up, baby. Things are, we're going to moon. But for the time being, so you need certain amounts of, you need a good portion of a person's life to be, you know, to be, you need to dedicate some time to alterations. You can't just go like a year of alterations and changes and be like, oh, I'm a super boat now, or I'm reversies, I'm a tube, I'm a paddle board, whatever you want to be, you know? because that's not fair. You're taking, even if you come into the competition, even if you're not first place, you're taking other paddle boards or tubes or kayaks places that should have been, they have a right to. They should also be respected, and there should also be some equality for everybody, and part of that is, everybody should be, and I agree with that. This is why, it's, everybody should be able to take and give both, just thought. Let's not even put it, just thought, and everybody should be able to take it and give it, because that's the world we live in. That's the world I want to promote, more giving and taking of thoughts. And yeah, so in that case, I think recently, just because we haven't had the enough time, really, because this is all happening so fast, man. Boat technology is just snap your fingers. One day it's a boat, next day were the engines. So point is that it's a beautiful time to be alive. Point is that it's always sunny, even though it seems like it's cloudy. Don't let that's fake news, man, because behind that is a whole, there's a sun, it's shining. Your UV rays, man, you go out there, even if it's, you don't put on sunglasses, you'll hurt your eyes. So what I'm trying to get to is that I love having these conversations. I love learning. I love challenging myself. I like challenging other people in a nice way. It doesn't have to. It's not about who's got it, because I don't think any one person or even one group of people has got a answer or the answer to boats, or anything else for that matter. And everything just changes, and times are changing. Damn straight, times are changing. It's beautiful. I like to be part of this change. I think in my own little way, maybe I am. It feels good to give back to boats. So we talk about everything here. We go in sometimes on the surface. Sometimes we go down to the root cause of it all. Sometimes we just don't even, sometimes just give everything a little bit of time, and that's what we all need. We just need time to figure it out. That's what it is, baby boys, baby girls. Thank you very much. If you like these videos, these fun-filled adventures that you have no freaking clue where it's going. Every day it was something different, and it'll continue to be that way. Never again, they said, will we do the same thing twice. Lest remember, let us remember, just say it like that. Yeah, let us remember. That's yeah. And I'm feeling good. Because I just killed a cheetah to get myself this brand new. So that's what it is. I'm so tired of, sometimes you gotta go off the lines. Some people are always just like, man, I do everything online. Oh, me, dude. I saw the greatest opportunity just the other day, out in the concrete jungle, found me a cheetah, got in a fist fight, stuck my fist down his throat. He came in with the sharp fangs. He's like, let me pounce on you. I'm like, you try to pounce, I'm gonna stick it right in there all the way. And I did. I stuck my fist all the way. I met him at the end of his tail. He was just like, oh my God, just gagging. And I'm like, hey man, don't tread on me. And basically I was looking to, I'm always out there seeking danger and adventure, and I love animals, but we're talking about predatory cat, just in the concrete jungle, dude. That was the last one too. It's funny, it's the beauty, hold on, there's only 2 of them left, 1 male, 1 female. That I took the dude out just cause, hey man, quit fronting and back up off of my grill, dog, is what I said. I went to town, dude. We wrestled, we did the whole twist and shout, and there was one Victor, dude, and I'm wearing them right now. You know, there can never, and that's it. Took out the whole entire species. But why? Because that's what it is. That's what it. Don't be coming in here thinking it's all fun and games, because it is. But I won't hesitate to put any endangered species in even further danger, dude. If that's what it costs for you and I to be closer, if I need to take out a few cats, dude, I'll go and I'll do it if I need to. And you're like, man, was this essential? Was it necessary? Of course. Sometimes you gotta, I'm sorry, because I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm so disconnected from the means of production and just like everything. I don't know where it comes from. With this, I'm like, I went straight to the source. Straight to the source. Not like, some people might look at it and be like, man, and think things. But I want you to think that, no, this was not purchased online. This is something I'm passionate about. Animals, I'm passionate about sometimes. Every once in a while, not too. I'm not. You guys know me. But every once in a while, it's nice to just, with whatever it is, treat yourself. And I saw the opportunity, dude. I saw this, because if I don't, it was an older cheetah, dude. If I don't take him out, Mother Nature will anyway. You got to keep. And you're like, man, why don't you let him mate first? I'm like, hey, man, you snooze, you lose. You get into it's the jungle of life here. Life is a jungle of fun. And that's what I did. Took it into my own hands. Tired of having to be like, oh, I hope some manufacturer makes me something with leopard print. Instead, go out there, put in the work. All y'all are out there just taking pictures with gators and lion. Get in there. Go take a nap. When the lion's yawning, just crawl in there for a quick nap, dude. Just crawl in. It's huge. Most of you will probably fit. And if you can't fit, what does that tell you about your overall health and well-being? If you can't fit in a damn lion's giant mouth and just rest in there, like our ancestors used to, are you even a boat? Sneak up on a damn bird every once in a while just to see if he still got it, because if things get out of hand, man, you want to be able to do certain things. And here we're all about teaching the most basic and essential life skills. We're a show about everything and nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all the love and support. If you've been with me from the get-go, fucking hearts out, baby. I'm coming right at you. It's spring, it's summertime almost. Things are cooking. Make yourselves feel good. Make each other feel good. Make love. Make more boats. We need more boats, man. We need all sorts of boats. Boats matter. All boats matter. All boat lives matter. I'm always here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're going to change things up. We're going to just keep rocking and rolling, baby. You can find me on YouTubes, on Instagrams, and on the Patreons. See y'all back here again on Friday. Peace out. Spread the word.